My name is Chandra Gore. I am a contributing writer for SwagHer magazine. So I want to first ask you to introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about you.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. My name is LP O'Brien. I am from the Bronx, New York. Very proud. I currently live in the DC area, and I'm a beverage consultant as well as an entrepreneur. I always tell a story with the cocktails that I make and curate. And a big, big, big passion of mine is really giving back to members of my community, whether that is sharing my knowledge or allowing them to be a part of the many, many ventures that I am a part of.
I love that, and I'm glad that you're in the DC area because so am I.
Oh,
I'm in,
amazing.
yeah, I'm down in Stafford.
Okay.
They claim us and they don't, then they claim us again. So I'm gonna always say that I'm about one eighth DC,
Okay.
um, because I'm always there. So I love that because it's amazing because my thing is conversations begin with a smile, but sometimes the conversations begin over a drink. So I love what you're doing. So my first question is, can you share with me what inspired you to enter the world of mixology?
Yeah, absolutely. I was a student for nursing school in DC. And I frequented a bar called The Passenger back in 2014. My best friend worked there, and I used to go there just to do my homework, but they had these delicious chicken sandwiches. And I always washed them down with a Mexican Coca-Cola. And so I frequented this bar, and one of the things I noticed very quickly and early on was that the bartenders and the servers in the space were always so kind and considerate. Now, let's paint this picture for you. You have this individual coming to your space who's sitting there for 6+ hours, and the only thing she orders is one chicken sandwich and one Coke all night. I mean, it's pretty easy to be mad at that person for taking a seat, but they were always so kind and so considerate. And what I found myself doing is taking a vested interest in what it is they were doing behind the bar. And what I discovered was that these individuals were some of the most intelligent, driven people I've ever met. They told amazing stories when it came to cocktails. They personalized the experiences they gave to every guest that came to their bar. And I saw it and immediately was like, I want to do that. So that was really my introduction to the bar scene and the bar world. I immediately asked the owner for a job, and he was like, you can have an interview. So I interviewed, and I ended up working as a server, then a bartender, and then eventually became a part of the management team.
Wow. So knowing, because sometimes bartenders are therapists for people,
Oh,
because
yeah, there were
I've
many
sat at a
hats.
bar and I've heard people spill their beans. I'm like, you just gonna tell this person all your business? And I realized, they do that. Bartending does have a special place in some people's lives. So what led you to compete on Ultimate Drink Masters?
Yeah, the at the time I was working at a bar in DC called Silver Lion, and I
Mhm.
was the R&D production chef there. And for me, one of the things I loved about my job is that I could, work in the kitchen and really just taste ingredients and figure out the best ways to showcase them in these delicious cocktails. That bar program was probably one of the best programs that I got to be a part of. But at the time, when this, opportunity to be a part of the show was circulating, my job description and my role really um, was the perfect it was the perfect opportunity to be a part of something like this. And so I took this as a chance to continue to expand my knowledge, to prove to myself that, there's a place for me in this space, and more importantly, to challenge myself in a way that I hadn't been challenged in quite a while. And I'm really grateful for that opportunity. It forever shaped the trajectory of my career. And yeah, I would say that the end result ended up being a pretty positive one for me.
Right, you won.
Yes, yes, yes.
And everybody likes to win things, okay?
Ah,
Especially on something winning in a field that you've invested your mind and your journey. It's been a huge part of your journey. So what was some of the biggest challenges that you faced in your career, and how did you overcome them?
You know, the biggest challenges I faced were these insecurities associated with um, whether or not I deserved to be here, right? Even after winning Drink Masters, there was this unnecessary pressure that was on my shoulders, and a lot of that was pressure I put on myself to be something, whatever that something was. And what I realized is what has gotten me as far as I've gotten is just being my authentic self, really being aligned with my values and what's important to me, whether that be community, collaboration, education, and really taking that and running with it and continuing to create these opportunities and spaces that allow creatives to embrace who they are respectively in the safest of environments.
I love that. I love because this everybody deals with that pressure, that they put upon themselves. I'm guilty of that. And then when I sit back, I was like, oh my, I laugh at myself because it's like, why are you doing this to yourself? No one else
Yes.
is putting these constraints on what you're doing. So I'm glad that you found those ways to get over those and to, because you're doing amazing things.
Thank you.
Because I will say, like, it's Sip, Sipony, is
Yes,
that how you say
Symphony
it?
Fritzco. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know more about that.
Yes,
And how did that come about? How did that
for
evolve?
sure. So after winning Drink Masters, I invested some money into Symphony Spritzco. And it is it's a company that is co-owned by Joey Mintz as well as Amanda Victoria, with the idea of creating beverages with the best ingredients. Our staple flagship was the Symphony Royale, and it consists of whiskey from New York, honey, lemon juice, and club soda, as well as a little bit of saline. We are now placing a lot of emphasis on our non-alcoholic line that is about to come out. Pre-sales are live, and we're really excited to showcase that to the world. But our whole goal with this line is to really allow individuals to partake in the beverage experience in whatever way is appropriate for them, whether that is enjoying a non-alcoholic beverage or by adding a spirit of their choice. And so we have these four delicious expressions that we're really excited for the world to try. We spent a lot of time curating these to be delicious with our ethos in mind, being fresh ingredients. And I'm really, really excited for the opportunity to allow people to be a part of this experience with us.
Okay, wait a minute now. You so these mocktails, because I know a couple of other creators I know in the DMV, they do mocktails for their meetups and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I saw some of them and I'm like, I could do a mocktail as long, it's festive, it's fun, and you don't get you can drive home safe.
Yeah, for sure. The space of non-alcoholic beverages is interesting because you have mocktails, which are the whimsical, fun, like
Mm-hmm.
very resemblant of like kids' drinks, right? You also have these NA or boozeless beverages, which are more
Mm-hmm.
sophisticated, complex. They integrate
Right.
a lot of craft, and the expansion of this category has been so impressive. And quite honestly, for us at Sip and Spritzco, if you're going to invest $1 into drinking something, why not ensure it's delicious as well as good for you? And so Amanda has a background in craft cocktails and spirits, as I do as well, and we're really proud of what we've been able to create.
So can you tell me more how the journey to sobriety influenced your work, and
Yeah.
how your approach to creating these drinks?
Yeah, that's I keep forgetting I'm a sober bartender, which is so funny to say because it's like, well, can I trust you to make my drinks if you don't drink? So the answer to that question is I still taste the cocktails I make for you the same way a chef would taste any dish that they would make before it goes
Mhm.
into your mouth. Um, so when we look at the world of spirits and wine, when these experts are in spaces where they're tasting spirits. They swirl it in their mouth
Mhm.
and then they discard of it. They don't swallow it.
Right.
What that allows them to do is to really pull out the more complex elements of the spirit or the wine when we're doing like our studies, right? And so I do the same thing with my cocktails. And There's so much clarity that I've been provided with in entering this new phase of life with this sober journey. I think that the end product that I've been able to kind of provide guest is way better than it has ever been. I'm a lot more focused. I've been able to finesse my craft. I've really challenged myself and pushed myself to do things that make me uncomfortable, integrating a lot of culinary techniques into what I do. A lot of what you saw on Drink Masters, but a bit more aligned with who I am authentically. And this journey has been like truly an amazing one. The thing is, there are so many ingredients that you have access to. And the fact that no matter where you go in the world and whoever makes you a drink or a dish will always have something new to create is
Mhm.
so much fun. And so I'm really grateful for the opportunity to create cocktails with spirits and non-alcoholic beverages without, and to really allow everyone that I serve to be a part of the journey.
I want to thank you for that because a lot of people like, oh, there's only so many. No, there are unlimited possibilities.
So many opportunities. And
So
that's the
what?
coolest part about it.
And well, sidebar. I do want to. Oh, I want to look at the different flavors. Okay, we'll do that. I'll do that a little bit later because now I'm like, oh, this is coming up with something cute that
I
I,
love
not
it.
cute, but because as an entrepreneur, like I want to, you always want to have options for those who you invite to do business with, or especially in different events or spaces where you don't know somebody's you don't know their sober journey, you don't know anything like that. So to have delicious options that are not cliche is a great way. And I'm happy about that because that has been nobody wants a Shirley Temple all the time. Okay. That's
I mean,
just
Shirley Temples are good, but not all the time. And that's exactly
right.
the point, right? We want a bit more complexity. I want to engage in the same experience that someone
Mhm.
who's paying premium dollar for that craft cocktail concept bar is paying, without feeling like it's an afterthought. And that's the most important part of this. You're doing all this work to create a delicious cocktail. Make sure that glassware is just as beautiful. Make sure it's not on the back of the menu with the kids' drinks, like let's really
Right.
ensure that the people who are choosing to not drink for whatever their reason are still a part of the experience.
Right. And that is oh that here's I'm oh, this makes me so happy because the options have been so limited. So, what advice would you give to women looking to break into the mixology beverage industry?
I think the most important thing, especially for women of color, women that look like you or me, is to authentically be yourself. I've gotten really far in just embracing who I am, very
Hmm.
naturally, very comfortably, not scripted, just really representing the things that are important to me, and being authentic. That has gotten me very, very far. Additionally, I find it to be really important to lean into collaboration and the opportunities that come with that. I am no stranger to sliding into someone's DMs if I have a question. I will slide into your DM. I will ask you a question, and I'm always able and willing to lend answers as well. And so I think if we can, lean into creating more opportunities for people in that manner, man, we will be successful for sure.
I love that collaboration is key. It's everything, and I'm always me, and I get that sometimes it's that's the one thing I'm comfortable and secure in because being something or being portraying someone that you're not, it will not fare well because
No,
it's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work to keep up with something that is not authentically you.
Right, it's like, do you remember, like I just I yeah I oh my gosh, you said the key word is authenticity. So how have you grown personally over the past year, especially with your celebrations of your milestone for sobriety?
I've been sober. I also have a newborn. I have a 6-month-old, and I
Oh
am a new
baby.
mama. And so life has been quite different than it was in the past. I'm in a position now where I'm a lot more selective about the things I choose to do, the spaces I choose to occupy. I realize there's a great weight I put on my shoulders now to ensure that I'm a role model for my daughter, that I empower her to be comfortable in speaking up for herself and to not be afraid of doing the thing that scares people a little bit. You know, I think there's a lot of life to live, and what better way to do it than doing the things that scare you. I the thing that scared me the most was probably competing in Drink Masters, and look what happened as a result, right? So
Yeah.
I continue to lead life with those things in mind, and I hope that one day when my daughter grows up that she is very proud of her mama for doing all that stuff.
So that, see, their children will do that for to
Yeah,
you.
it's really like a driving force. She's motivated me in ways and she's a baby, right? She's motivated me in ways I never
Yeah.
thought I would be motivated. And it's really inspiring.
I love that because I'm a mom. I'm a mom, but a lot of people don't.
Aw.
Yeah, my children are old, honey. Like they're adults, like real
Yeah.
adults. So, and they keep inspiring me as well. So
Yeah. They drive you.
I'm, yeah, they do. It's crazy sometimes, but it's one of those things. So, what are your long-term goals for your career? And do you have any new ventures other than the drinks that are for pre-order right now, or any other new ventures or projects on the horizon?
So much in the works. It's always difficult as an entrepreneur when you're working on things and the world hasn't seen it yet. I'm getting ready to dive into Tales of the Cocktail, which is the biggest bartender conference that happens in the world. It happens in New Orleans at the end of July, and we're about to do a whole bunch of different events and activations along with many other bars and beverage entrepreneurs.
Ooh,
So if you find yourself in New Orleans, please come stop
I
by.
gotta.
But other than that, lots of projects, none I can announce at the moment. But I will say for anyone following along on Instagram, LP Drinks DC, continue to do that. Sign up to our newsletter as well. And there are always going to be updates coming up. But there's a lot of projects about to be announced, and I'm really excited about it.
I love that. So I'm gonna give one final question, and then we're gonna leave some words of wisdom and some, of your signature quotes. But how do you hope to influence the mixology industry and the broader conversation around sustainability and innovative beverages?
I think that when we think about our roles in this sector and the influence that we have on consumers, but additionally the influence that we have on our peers, leading a life of integrity is so impactful. And it's not always easy to make those decisions. But I found that in many instances, when those decisions align with who I am as a person, I feel so good about the decisions I've made. When we talk about innovation and forward thinking concepts with drinks, I really urge people to work with their chefs, whether it's savory or pastry. I've learned so much stuff working with my chefs, in the ways that I've been able to organize my recipes, but then additionally the ways that I've been able to integrate ingredients into my serves. And then leading into cultures, like I was adopted and about, oh, how old was I? About 5 years ago, discovered that my DNA consisted of Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and African American, right? American. And so it's been really cool for the first time as an adult to kind of discover that part of my DNA, and to embrace it and to integrate it into my craft. So be authentic to who you are, work with your chefs, and lead a life of integrity.
I love that because it makes. I think everyone wants to know what they're made of, the recipe,
Yeah.
the ingredients of them. So I love the fact that you found those things. Each one of those has, some really great really great the culture behind each of them, especially Jamaica and Puerto Rican. It's so different, but they all have one, and then of course African American. There's always a common thread between all, through all of them. So I
Yeah.
love that. So what is a quote that you rely on that you would like to share with the audience?
The world is not binary. I think that's probably one of the best quotes I've ever heard. And it really is understanding that two things can coexist at the same time. You know, it's easy to get upset and irate when things occur and happen, but having and leading with empathy and understanding gets you so far in life. And quite honestly, we shouldn't be upset at everything. You know, I think there's a lot of good in this world. There are a lot of gifts in this world, and having true children will definitely prove to you that there's so much love and so much light, and leaning into that is really impactful and very important.
I love that. I want to really thank you so much for chatting with me today. I will be if you're having any events around the in the DC
Yes.
area, I would love to attend because I need a reason to come into the city
You know what?
always.
You just reminded me of something. I have a project called Cool Moms Club that I can tell you about. And so it's leaning into parenting in the industry and just reminding parents that they are cool. So we curate events for parents that their children are able to be a part of, whether that is like wine tasting and baby carriers, whether that is, you know, a day in the park with your children, and a picnic. So we're gonna start launching that at the end of the summer because it's a little too hot in DC right now. But
Yes,
I am so excited for that because um, it's been a very interesting journey to be a parent in the beverage industry. And I think having these spaces where we can continue to support each other are really important.
I love, love, love that because
Yeah.
I know so many moms. Like I got married at 18 and had my children really early. So I wish I had those types of things when they were
Yes.
little because it would have made such a difference. So especially connecting with other moms because you'll find that support system that you really, really do need.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. We'll have to come back and talk about that. I might have to come to an
For
event and
sure. Yeah, we'll definitely
cover it. So
collaborate on the first event together.
yes, I would. Oh, that is so awesome. Okay, yes, the school's coming back, and you have the kids that I'm already okay. I'm already having that moment of, oh, there's so many opportunities there. But I really want to thank you so much for chatting
Thank
with me
you.
today. I can't wait to catch up with you later this year to find out how things are going, and also with the new launch because you all. I'm gonna put the link for you all to pre-order and to find out more in the description. And please read the article because I'm really excited and I'm so glad to have chatted with you today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really honored. And yeah, we'll definitely hang out soon.
Yes. Thank you so much. You have a good evening.
You too.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.